Makadini salivonani, linjani, dimacheroni, mahwachini, muriwa lihere, boroi, salivonani, linjani, dimacheroni, mahwachini, muriwa lihere, bonjour, hello, can we be, bonjour. Hello, Canepi, ¿cómo estás? Ni hao, Jambo, ¿cómo estás? Ni hao, habari, shalom, namaste, konnichiwa, hola, aloha, ciao, moroi. Makadini salivonani, linjani, dimacheroni, mahwachini, muriwa dihere. I greet you in many languages using my mbira, a traditional African instrument that my ancestors used to transcend and to entertain themselves before they were silenced by the colonizer. Today, I share with you that I'm reclaiming my identity. Mbira is therapeutic. Mbira has healed me and many other women. Today, as I stand on this fearless woman's stage, thanks to Shala and Jackie and all the sisters that are here that I've met online, I take all the credit for being what Shala said, the beacon bio, I call it. However, my life was not always this fearless. Woo! Woo! That is how a child is celebrated upon their arrival in my culture. However, I was born girl number 3 in a succession of girls. My mother named me Ndaiziwe. Had I known that I'll give birth to yet another baby girl, had I known that I'd fail to produce an heir. So I was born into this energy of you are not enough. As if it was not enough, at 5, I witnessed British soldiers brutalizing my parents, taking them to jail with my baby sister, Juliet. Then, white people were occupying the top rung of the race ladder, followed by Asians, followed by coloreds. My people, African people, were teetering at the bottom of the ladder. I have observed that society has this way of putting us in boxes of gender, race, ethnicity, religion, class, caste. And these systems often tell us we are not enough, or at times give us privilege or make us underprivileged. Has anyone felt this feeling of you are not enough because of who you are? By show of hands. You are not alone. I am that girl that took punches for being smarter than some boys in primary school. I am that teenager who was body shamed by boys who felt entitled to my body in secondary school. I am that woman whose tie got groped in the workplace by a manager. I am that wife who took 12 years before she could extract herself from a toxic, forced marriage. I am that hopeless romantic whose heart got broken and I was told, you are worth nothing. You are not lovable. Your life is worth nothing by a man. You see, I knew that I am worth something. Deep down, the inner knowing that Shala talked about, I knew that I meant to do more. But these systems conspired to tell me I am nothing. Pain taught me to raise my own children, my 2 daughters and my son, as equals in my home. After being disinherited, being told that girls don't get anything in this family. Having lost my 2 parents in a space of 1 year as a young parent when I needed them most. And I just knew that I didn't want my girls and my boy to experience the pain that I experienced. So I turned my pain to power, raising them as equals. My boy can cook, my boy can clean, my boy cries. It's okay for boys to cry. My boy expresses his feelings. It's okay for boys to express their feelings. My boy asks for help. He is 23. I still teach him. If you treat girls the way those boys and men treated me, mama will hurt. So I was teaching my son to jettison toxic masculinity and embrace positive masculinity. Because this system, these systems, they grieve not only us women, but they grieve our sons, our fathers, our uncles, our grandfathers. They're sitting there with pain. So I decided to change the script. I know we must empower girls and women. But for me, the more work that we need to do as mothers is to teach our sons not to do what they are doing to our children. And who is better placed in this world to teach that message to their son except their mother? I know they told me that a single mother cannot raise a son. But I dare say a single mother can raise a son who feels, a son who has empathy, a son who knows that his first home is his mother's womb. So far, I have shared one of my gifts, my mbeda. I have shared my passion, my heart beats for social justice. I have shared part of my story. The question that I have for you is I proclaim on this fearless woman stage that you can change the world. What are your gifts? I don't expect you to make the list now. I do know you have gifts that you know. But my question to you is, what are all your gifts? List them down. What is your passion? What does your heart beat for? What makes you not stand up or sit down? That which is like a fire burning inside you. What is it? Your passion. You can have many, it's allowed. I have many. But it's just about harnessing them to come up with something. What is your story? Everyone has a story. Other speakers have already said that. What is your power? I located mine in motherhood. A mother is a teacher. A mother has access to unconditional love. A mother will do anything for their child. A mother wishes to behold their son or their daughter become the best they can be in this world. A mother fights for the dignity of their child. And so, what is your power? Where is your power? You can change the world if you know your gift, if you know your passion, if you know your story, if you locate your power. Where are you most influential? And then you might want to ask, what does the world need? But then already we know what it needs because it's in our stories. You can change the world. One thing that I learned from a revolutionary that many people might find issues with, Paulo Freire, he said to speak one truth is to transform the world. And I learned one thing about speaking truth. It's not just mouthing it off. When you speak truth, it's reflection and action. That is speaking truth. It hit me because most of the time we talk and we don't do. So when I say speak truth to yourself, reflect and act. Like for me, I reflected on my pain and I decided, I'm not staying in this pain. I'm going to convert it to power. As a mom, I start teaching in my own home. That's where I have influence. Change the narrative. Girls are important. Girls are equal. Boys are equally important, but I have lessons to learn. And then speak the truth when I tell my story. So, speaking the truth to self is one of the most difficult things I've ever had to do. I have an ego like everybody else, and I'm quite stubborn. And my husband knows that he's sitting right there. Uh, so, one of the things that I discovered in terms of speaking truth to self is I came up with a little process that I called AOT. Catch that one. AOT. Acknowledge, own, and transform. And I'm going to tell a story that I wasn't sure if I wanted to tell it, but I'll tell it. So, after writing Mother Behold Thy Son, the book that I wrote for my son and for my girls and other sons and daughters at large, I asked myself, what is the truth about my story as the mother of these children? What role did I play in the relationship with that man who I had 3 children with? Because my narrative before was, he did this to me. You know, he was so evil. And, you know, when you write these processes, they take you somewhere down to the root of the issue. And when I reflected and told myself the truth, I said, I just realized that my marriage was actually not my choice. Neither was his. So these were 2 young students whose families decided, I'm pregnant, so get together and live together and make it work. And he told me that he felt imprisoned. But culture says, you hold the knife by the hand. And so I started telling myself the truth. What's that guy's story? Because we never got to talk about it. Now I'm curious, now that I'm 48. 48 was a pivotal year. And so I discovered that the system of patriarchy that says men are more important and women are less, and women can get less pay in the corporate and men get more, was responsible for this situation. So I let go of the individual, telling myself the truth, not the narrative of a victim, but the narrative of a victor. So I decided I'm going to tell myself the truth. You can change the world if you tell yourself the truth. What do you need to acknowledge? And what do you need to own? So I owned my part that I made a decision to be with this guy. Anything else, yes, he has his part to own, but it's not mine. I'm owning mine, what's within my control, and then transform the relationship. So in 2018, when I turned 48, my daughter was getting married and I was very bitter. My blood pressure went high because this guy, this very guy, who did not look after these kids, was collecting lobola for my kids. That's what culture said. And I went back to that pain, to that trauma of what happened in that relationship. But I did so want to release myself. So I had to tell myself the truth. So when I called him and I said, I don't want to fight with you anymore. We are going to be grandparents. I don't want to take this to my grandparents. I don't even want to take it to my daughter's marriage. The cycle ends here, now. If I did anything to you in my ignorance and naivete as a 21-year-old girl and forced you to be a parent, whatever, however you feel about me, can you forgive me for that? But I'll tell you one thing that I don't regret. Making the decision as a student mom to have my 2 babies 2 years in a row while I was still in college. I thank you for that because my babies are beautiful and no one is going to take that away from me. Telling ourselves the truth and changing the narrative as women. Are we victims? Maybe not. Telling the truth to others. Change happens when we tell the truth to others, but it's about how. We tell it with love, unconditional love, no judgment, no blame, no shame, no guilt tripping. It took me a lot of years to realize that that's what I needed to do with the father of my children so that I would have peace within. I did it. So can you. Changing the world is not about making big changes. It's about starting with us. We are the greatest instrument in transformation. We go to our families, we break the cycles. So I've been taking them, generational cycles, in my own sibling subsystem. I told my brother, you know, that conversation is over, we are equal. My dad is gone, but you are not my dad. Let's talk equality and let's do it with love. And we are in a good place, but it takes fighting. Someone talked about being labeled and being rejected by society. I have a label, homewrecker, because I dare to speak truth to other people when they are abusing other women. I won't stop. I won't keep my mouth shut. Now I've just learned the art of not judging them, because before I would judge them. So telling the truth to others with love, no judgment, no shame. We bring them close to us so that they can realize that what they are doing grieves humanity. Telling the truth to power. Whew, this loud mouth has got a reputation of saying what she feels, and sometimes the powers that be get upset because they don't want to hear the truth. I started a petition to say, let's stop racism globally. And it has 200 signatures. And I know the reason why people don't want to sign it is because it's political. This mother thinks that we ought to speak truth to power so that we can change the reality that we don't want to see. Mothers are future oriented. We birth the future. And so for me, it's not that I don't fear. I'm not absolutely fearless, although I'm fearless. But it's that I just know that this is what we need to do for change to come. We cannot change the world if we are not prepared to speak truth to power. How do we speak truth to power? With love, with respect, no judgment, no guilt tripping, no blaming, no shaming. They'll come to our side. Sometimes they think we're forceful, we're aggressive. But I think if we really package our messages with love, unconditional love, we will change the world. So you can change the world by speaking truth to self, to others, and to power. One of the things that I have learned is that change has a formula. And I realized that we all live that formula, but we just don't know it because it's not written down. But we all have a desire, burning desire to change our reality. And what happens when we have desire only? Nothing changes. We have to have a vision. What do you want to see? If you want to change the world, where are you now and what do you want to see in the future? So that has got to be clear. So I knew that I didn't want to see girls being treated less than, or my children being African and being told they are less than so they can't partake in some of the spaces that people that don't look like them, that are seemingly superior, do occupy. So I had a vision for my kids. And my heart beats for that vision: equality, love, and freedom. And so we have to have the vision, feel it, taste it, see it, walk it. I made it on a board before it happened, everything that I wanted to be. And it wasn't enough. I had to take some steps towards the vision, bite-sized steps towards the vision. So the desire times the vision, times the first steps might lead to change. But we have to deal with the resistance. What are the voices that tell you you cannot? The gender, the race, the religion, the class, the caste, tell us we can't. But I'm here to tell you that you can change the world. The clock has ticked. The last thing that I had to say was about mindset. What is the mindset of a world changer? This is a song about a woman or a man who has a wound. It can be trauma, it can be pain, whatever it is, PTSD. Aneronda, vari kumuronda, ingatonda, mwarimi mwana uyo. Aneronda, aneronda, mwana wenyu mwari uyo. Misodzi pamatama, rufaro rwatotama. Misodzi pamatama, rufaro rwatotama. Aneronda, vari kumuronda, ingatonda mwarimi mwana uyo. Asi anofamba nokutenda, ava kutotenda mwana uyo. Ari kufamba munyasha, ava kutotenda mwana uyo. Pfungwa dzanofunga, mashoko anopanga. Pfungwa dzanofunga, mashoko anopanga. Zorapa ronda, zviri kutoshanda. Ava kutotenda mwarimi mwana uyu. Pfungwa dzanofunga, mashoko anopanga. Pfungwa dzanofunga, mashoko anopanga. Zorapa ronda, zviri kutoshanda. Ingatotenda mwarimi mwana uyu. The mindset of a world changer, a positive mindset, positive thoughts, positive words, positive actions. Thank you.
Thank you, Francisca.